Are you enjoying Yorkshire?
Well, first, we and Yorkshire have to get used to each other.
But you haven't come up against too many impassable barriers.
Lord Grantham, we both know what we're up against. Happily, we're used to it.
Well, you won't have any trouble with us. Lady Grantham's father was Jewish.
That isn't always a guarantee of tolerance, so it's a relief to hear you say it. Atticus seems to be very taken with your niece. And I must say, I find her quite charming.
Does Lord Sinderby approve?
Well, you know, he needs time to settle into things.
Your mother never considered converting.
I don't believe so.
Was it difficult, having a different religion from your father's?
Not that I recall.
But you're not ashamed of him?
Lord Sinderby, I would point out that we never changed our name.
It was my grandfather's decision. I thought of changing it back, but the family felt they were English now, and they wanted to stay English.
Have you decided at last whether you're leaving?
At last is the right phrase, but I want to make sure I do the right thing. I don't want to disrupt Sibby's life and then regret it.
You know they all want you to stay.
That only makes it more difficult.
Lord Grantham was saying that Gregson left Lady Edith his publishing company.
Yes, that's right.
Then shouldn't someone telephone the office? Won't she go there? They must know where to find her.
Of course. How clever you are.
Seems rather obvious to me.
Your mother and Robert are hitting it off.
She's not the problem.
Oh?
My father's the tough nut.
Oh, my people are the other way round. My father's a darling and my mother's the nut.
Then we shall crack them against each other.
It's strange how some people get married and we can't manage it once.
Dogs barking in wrong trees spring to mind. Tony, I'm sorry if you feel I'm tracking you around the country, but I can't give up just yet. You'd be so very happy if you'd let us.
And I won't be if I don't.
I remember my mother telling me that in the end, happiness is a matter of choice. Some people choose to be happy, and others select a course that leads only to frustration and disappointment.
And I'm one of the latter.
Terribly hope not, for my sake.
I have a little announcement.
Are you sure?
I am. You might like to know that Lord Merton and I have decided that we should get married. Lovely.
Well, this calls for a toast. I give you Mrs. Crawley, or should I say, the future Lady Merton.
Future Lady Merton.
Naturally, it was the last thing I ever thought would happen.
Well, I forced her into it.
He wooed me into it, and I'm terribly pleased he did.
Well,
What's the matter, Granny?
I was worried about Edith.
Oh, I can't think why.
My dear, a lack of compassion can be as vulgar as an excess of tears.
I'm sorry if I seem distracted, but I'm truly so happy for both of you.
I thought I'd give her dinner so she can meet my sons.
Well, she has met Larry before.
Let's hope she's forgotten.
Why don't we do it here? We could invite Granny and everyone. You are my godfather, and Isobel's the grandmother of my child. Oh, please, let's. It seems only right, Mamma.
Of course, if you'd like.
Well, that'd be very kind. A signing of the bond between our families.
I wish we didn't know the anguish lurking behind this jolly evening.
you love other people's secrets.
Not these days.
I can't tell you why I can't leave Mary, but you'd understand if I did.
Just promise me it's a struggle.
More than you know.
We must go, but it's been such fun. I hope you'll come to us next time.
We should love it. I suppose now we just have to wait and see what happens.
There's no need to hurry them to anything. They're both very young.
Well, I would be delighted if something were to come of it. Good night, Lady Grantham. Lady Rosamond.
The door, please. They're so easy in each other's company. Anyone can see it.
But he won't let me go.
Because you refuse to make it clear that you want him to. Just as he's moving off, you tug his strings. Send a clear message and he'll go. I promise.
What is that message?
We'll think of something.
I've been hearing about Edith's plan. How marvellous of her.
If you ask me, it's absolutely crackers. But Cora seems pleased.
What idea is this?
Edith has taken in a motherless child and is giving her a home here.
I should have thought an orphan rather an uncomfortable piece of baggage for an unmarried woman.
You mean a man might not want to take the child on?
Well, I wouldn't.
Rose, have you written to your mother about Mr. Aldridge?
I have now.
And will she approve?
Don't be disappointing, Aunt Violet, please.
I promise you we both know a difference in religion is a big thing.
Quite right. How would you bring up any children, for example?
Children? When did this happen?
I'm talking hypothetically. The fact is, most marriages that fail founder for precisely this kind of reason. An irreconcilable difference.
Or maybe they just don't get on.
No, I'd agree with Larry. It's usually more than that.
Yeah, it might be different beliefs or different nationalities or a huge age gap. In the end, they cannot see eye to eye.
I don't see what you're getting at.
You mean to marry Mrs. Crawley here? Well, she seems very nice, and I wish you both every happiness.
Thank you.
But that doesn't prevent me from seeing that the wide disparity in class and background may prove your undoing.
What did you say?
Only that Mrs. Crawley, a decent middle-class woman with neither birth nor fortune, is expecting to fill our mother's shoes as one of the leaders of the county. Is she capable of it? Or will her inevitable failure prove a source of misery to them both?
You know Mrs. Crawley's late son was my heir.
What does that prove? Everyone has distant cousins who are fairly odd.
How dare you? Will you go, Larry? I had to make excuses for your rudeness the last time you sat at this table. It is tiring to think I shall be called upon to do so again.
I know the choice of in-laws is eccentric in this family. You already boast a chauffeur, and soon you can claim a Jew, but even so...
Why don't you just get out, you bastard?
And suddenly we've slipped into a foreign tongue.
Well, if that is how you feel...
I do not endorse Tom's language, but that is certainly how we all feel.
Then, Lady Grantham, goodbye. And thank you for a delightful evening.
What did you imagine? That we would welcome you with open arms?
Golly, what an evening. We won't forget it in a hurry.
Let us remember it for two reasons. One bad, one good.
Oh, what's the good one?
I hope it is good.
I'm listening.
See, the thing is, it occurs to me that we're already having to defend ourselves.
Yes.
So let's have a real reason to. That is, if you feel equal to it.
I'm not going to give you an answer until you say it properly.
Do I have to kneel down?
Of course. But you don't have to stay kneeling for very long.
Rose. Darling Rose. Will you marry me?
You can get up now.
Come on,
We ought to be serious. The truth is that we haven't known each other very long. And they're right, that there are bound to be problems.
The way I see it, we both know we're going to get married in the end. We know we're right together.
Yes, I suppose we do.
That's all I need to hear. I'll telephone tomorrow and we'll settle who tells what to whom and when.
Oh, darling.
I'm going to wait in the car. Take as long as you like.
We'll laugh about this one day.
Yes, the sooner the better. Good night.
Good night. Tell me it won't change your mind.
I can't talk about this tonight, nor for some time to come. And I think Rose and her young man will take up every scrap of attention we have for weddings.
Please don't say that.
Papa? Larry's been sitting in the car since he left the dining room.
I'm just coming.
I'll say good night, Mrs. Crawley.
Good night. Don't blame Larry. He was close to his mother and hates the thought of a replacement. They both do.
You don't need to remind me. The boys take after their mother in every possible way.